There we go. Nice. I think we're looking good. Nice. Alrighty. So, today we are going to be working with Bramaz, Blight of Oreskos, yikes, and Roxa. Very excited. Just felt like they would be good commanders to use for Pride. I think that they're really fun to be partnered. I think each of them desires something unto themselves a bit. But yeah. Let's see. All right, for a start, I always say that ramp is a good place to start, honestly. Actually, before we get too far, I should probably close out the door. Nice. All right. Now, let's get started with ramp, shall we? So with ramp, with these guys, we got green. So that's pretty good. Let's start with our artifacts, because those are pretty simple, pretty basic. I think it'll be helpful for us. All right. Just gotta find our artifacts real quick. I think I got this in the big boy box. Yep. Oh yeah. Alright. So first things first, gotta grab a soul ring. Kind of felt like it's necessary with every commander deck, honestly. I used to have the hardest time getting one when I was younger. And now I have dozens of them, and it's kind of a challenge to decide which one to play sometimes. I even have like a couple that were like made by a friend that I think are really cute. But I think that I have an old Pride one that was a gift from a friend, and honestly, it seems really appropriate for this one. I really like the Pride Soul Ring because like it's just so chock full of symbolism. Like every eye is like a different like Pride symbol, which I think is really cool. A different Pride coloration, and every tchotchke that you see in the background of this. Let's see how close we can. That's not bad. Every tchotchke that you kind of see in the background here is kind of like a different symbol that like represents a different like aspect of like queer identity or stuff. God, what are some good examples? I feel like I would be speaking out of turn for a lot of these actually, but I really like a lot of them, honestly. All right. So we got that boy. Let's go ahead and put these down here. Oh, there we go. Wow. Perfect. Okay. Then let's go ahead and grab, I think, an Arcane Signet. Huh? Don't you think? This music slaps. I love this stuff so much. Ah, you know, I got a bit of a choice between Arcane Signets. I go with the Ridge. I can go with the Doctor Who, or I can go with the Lord of the Rings. What is the most Pride? I feel like the Ridge is the most Pride. It's the most colorful, you know? The rest of them are kind of like meh. Also, I'm not trying to be like show-offy too much. Sometimes you put all of your cards in one, and it's like, oh yeah, wow. You put all your Dazzlers in a deck, but it's like, it's a little performance-y sometimes. Alright, so that's like some good bread and butter, like ramp. So beyond that, we got two 4-cost commanders. We probably want something that ramps a little bigger. We have synergy with artifact creatures and vanilla creatures. So like not a lot for vanilla that can help us ramp. However, we do have a couple of artifact creatures that might actually be able to help us. Surely we can find some good like mana dorks of a certain size. I'd be loathed to... Oh! Oh! I forgot that I had an Ornithopter still. Yeah, that's perfect. It's an artifact creature, taps for any color. I was just about to say, I'd be loath to like bow into colorless so quickly, considering that I'm doing like a tricolor deck. But yeah, Ornithopter is perfect in that niche. Pretty inexpensive, good for what it does, and also taps for any mana color. Lovely. Perfect. Exactly what I want from it. Hmm. I think a Burnished Heart would be pretty good, honestly. Kind of weird for this deck, honestly, because usually you don't put Burnished Heart in something that has green, unless it has like some sort of weird sack mechanics, even then. But this deck loves artifacts. What can I say? I think maybe Foundry Inspector might be good. Not Ramp, inherently. We'll put this guy up to the side. Keep that in mind. Hmm. See, I could do a Palladium Mirror, but it taps for 2 colorless. I have like a white-black commander and a double green commander. It's a little dubious. Then again, I do want to cast bigger artifact spells. I think we should risk it. I think we should risk it on the biscuit. I think that'll be our big like, oh, we like that's our indulgence, you know? Hmm, what else can we do here? You know what? Okay, just for the lineup, just for the lineup, let's go ahead and slap in a Scuttlemutt and have an artifact unicorn here that feels pretty gay. So I feel like it works. Where are we? Yes, Opaline Unicorn. Opa, Line Unicorn. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a lot of ramp. Okay, so usually in any commander deck, you want 10 ramp. So, but it's gonna be like a pretty big deck. So, sorry, itchy ear. I'm gonna say 12. 12 ramp. And that's where we'll put the hard limit. That'll be our agreement. Alright. Real quick before we get too far though, as much as I'm having fun chatting with no one really in particular, as funny as that is, I should probably kind of boost this around just a scoosh. Not to be too like, you know, about it. There we go. Ta. All right. I know I had at least a few friends that were kind of interested in checking this out, but worst case scenario, it's just us. It's just you and me. All right. So let's find a couple of spells. Let's do some fun spell shenanigans, huh? Well, when I think of green, and I think of ramp, it's pretty hard not to think of the OG ramp. Leave it to the nerd to ruin the run-up to this. I have too many boxes of magic, so little time. So when I think of ramp, I think of the OG cultivate. The joke, because of course it's rampant growth, but I don't know. I feel like nowadays, like unless you're running like a low like cost commander, just cultivate, cultivate. You know. I also like spelling the word kumquat, says Herman. Hello, Herman. How are you doing in the chat? We are building a Pride Commander, and I'm very excited about it. You know what? We could get a better cultivate in here. I think we could go a little bit more fun, huh? God, which one to toss in though, guys? Okay. Because here's our options. We could do Fallout. We could do Lord of the Rings. We could do Doctor Who. We could do the shiny foily one in Japanese, and we can do the OG. I feel like I got a lot of good nerd options here. Oh, glad to hear you doing good, Herman. You know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling the Fallout of it all. I think that's actually, this guy's really cute. I enjoy his vibe. He's fun. I like him. I'm so vibing out to. I had a severe day at work today. And it was actually so nice. Like, I was like stressing out, having a hard time of it. I got on the bus home and I put on my earphones and I started listening to some polka. I swear it's become like my like just my like catharsis music. I don't know what it is. It just feels, it's so relaxing to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got 9 ramps so far. I've always been a big fan of the OG and probably gay. Yeah, valid. I feel like the OG is pretty good actually. I might actually put it in my next deck. I feel like the OG is really quite nice. A lot of the like original cards are actually pretty good, not gonna lie. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, right. Uh, let's see. Let's check what we have under instance. Because a lot of times I'm like, oh yeah, instance, whatever, who cares? But like, I feel like there is some good ramp in instant. Also, like, probably we could get some good mill in there, since our characters don't exactly hate mill. That could be fun. Weird Al Polka, huh? I have yet to really get into Weird Al, weirdly enough. Weird Al-ly enough. I've been getting into a lot of, like, very, See, I was trying to do, like, a deep dive of Polka. And the funny thing is then, I went online and was like, what is, like, the Polka of it all? And it ends up, there was, like, Grammy Awards for Polka. And I was like, oh, that's easy then. I'll just go through all the Grammy Award winners, get all of their, like, polka music, and start listening to it. And a lot of it's actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. Recommend doing that. But, and weirdly, none of them were Weird Al. Isn't that screwed up? I feel like that's kind of, like, weird. Hmm. I feel like Weird Al has actually, like, changed polka a lot. Like, he's the polka guy at this point. Kind of weird that he's not on the list. The more that I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, I wonder if that's right. Ooh, Splendid Reclamation could be pretty fun in this deck. Thinking about it. Nah, I don't want to get too, like, graveyard fixated on this, actually, though. Because part of it is, like, Bramaz wants the creatures to die, but only if they're Phyrexians. And Ruxa only can bring, like, target creature with no abilities from the graveyard to my hand. Yeah, there's no reason. I don't want to screw with it. Oh, there was actually a great card that I'm having difficulty remembering the name of, in which it was essentially like, for every creature that you have a different power of, go ahead and, like, put another land out, homie. Oh gosh, what is that card? Where is it? Is it really an instant? There's no way. It has to be a sorcery. If it's not a sorcery, I will vomit. Oh! Celebrate the Harvest. And I have umpteen squillion, like, borderless copies of that, because my friend was like, this is my new favorite card, and I'm getting all of the borderless of it, because it's really cheap right now. He just went for it. Mad lad, earnestly. How many creatures have no abilities these days? Not many. Also, hello. How you doing? I feel like not a lot of creatures have no abilities, but that's part of the fun of this, personally. Look at top 6, put them in tap, put the rest of them bottom library in any order. Put fewer than lands proliferate any member. I don't really want to. If we were proliferating something more interesting, I would probably toss in expand the sphere. But as it stands, I don't think we're looking big at proliferation. I think these are gonna, like, hit the field and be good or not good. I don't think we have to worry too much about that. Maybe I'm being short-sighted about this. But I don't think I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I feel like I'm miscounting. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need 2 more. Hmm. Thinking. What if Phyrexian an artifact creature? Duh! Here's what we do. Mirrors. I forgot my mirrors. Flipping back and forth between the can I build a proper Flubs the Fool deck and how do I take a tour of the Imperial Palace in Tokyo? It's a weird night. Ah, I see. God, can you take a tour of the Imperial Palace in Tokyo? That would be such a gag. I would love that, actually. That's gotta be beautiful. We're gonna play a new game. It's called Did I Mix Up My Artifact Creatures with My Regular Creatures? And if so, why? Why? I don't think I did. Because I'm not seeing them where they should be, if that were the case. Maybe they're in the small box. Here's my artifacts. And instantly there's a legendary, which I feel like she shouldn't be here. I'm getting the feeling that I mixed my artifact creatures with my regular creatures. Which honestly, good for her. We changed the designs of how we organize. Does mean I know less where things are. I need to do some research on what the mirrors are. This is embarrassing. Okay, there's the Leiden Mirror, there's the Iron Mirror, Palladium. I want to go to mirror.com, Mom. Copper Mirror. Of course. Of course. Okay. Flubs the Fool. That's the Frog Man. Is it not? I feel like he would be really funny in a Pride deck. Because the vibe with him is that he like wants you to discard a bunch of stuff. So like if you get a really good discard commander, because like Flubs the Fool is funny, but he like basically only allows for like one playstyle, which almost makes him like perfect to be paired with like something else that can like broaden his horizons a little bit, maybe. Could just be me though. Um Alright. Let's find the other mirrors, shall we? Ugh. Hi. Uh, this is red. One of the colors I do not need. So, I have been having a really long day. I got into work today and I immediately like, you ever have one of those days where it's like immediately pedal to the metal for the whole day? Ugh, it was a mess. And they're doing a bunch of renovations in there at the same time. So they're like, oh, isn't it great that there's like new stuff? I'm like, I'm on fire right now. I don't really want to, I don't want to screw around with anything else. I'm not really concerned about what's happening around. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Brackets being on fire. Oh, I found the black box. You guys want to see something funny? So, when I picked up the boxes that I put my cards in. I did so like across town. So I had to take several bus drops, and by the time I got home, I did not have all the cardboard little wedges that you need to complete a box. Could be that I dropped them, to be entirely honest. Could also be that they didn't ever give me any. But see, the thing is, I'm an ingenious little nerd. So previous night, a friend had dominoes. So I just kind of made my own little intersections with domino cardboard. I sort of made sure that it wasn't like greasy, but uh, I think it's one of the funniest and most low ratchet things I've ever done in my life, and I love it. It's so funny to me. Yep, that's the guy. But I see a couple ways to play him potentially. My current lean is a madness focused with a tribal subtheme. Are there a lot of madness cards? I would love for there to be a madness cards, to be honest, because like I feel like madness kind of like petered out with like when it didn't super work out with Rakdos. But that said, I feel like the only reason that Madness hasn't worked in that like one Rakdos set and from the cards that I remember is because they didn't have like strong enough effects attached to them. So they were kind of like whatever. But I think that that's kind of like an issue of like they just need better effects. So like I think that if one commander set used Madness in a set that I didn't think of, I'm thinking of a different mechanic. Madness is the Madness is from Innistrad. Hellbent. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, don't build a Hellbent deck. My advice, don't do that. I would love for Hellbent to come back though. I would love if something said like, if you have no cards in hand, but like the thing is like when they did it with Rakdos or whatever that first time around, they were like, when you have no cards in hand, you'll get to get a +2/+2. It's like, it's not really, it's not the vibe. It's not what we're doing here. If you wanted it to like work really well though, in a commander set, just like when you have no cards in hand, gain 10 health at the end of the turn or something like that. That would be the bomb.com. It could be really good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'd like to be a bit petty. One of these mirrors is not like the other, and it does bug me. I'm gonna peek to see if I have the other ones. I simply love like a deck that looks just a little more like together for that sort of stuff. Whenever it goes like astray, I usually am like, oh, I could have pulled it together. Just would have taken a second's more effort. I don't know. I feel like that's maybe what gets me in trouble sometimes, where I'm like, oh, just a moment longer. 12 hours later. I think it was in this box. About 30, but not all of them fit the deck properly. The interesting part is the way the trigger stack. Flub's ability makes you discard on cast, which triggers Madness before your initial spell. And yeah, I almost tried Hellbent, then I regained my sanity. And then did Madness. Knowing you, I bet you made that joke on purpose. That said, gosh, I hadn't thought of that, actually. So you would cast something, discard something, and that would trigger the Madness. That would be weird. Then again, I feel like the deck is already very, like, chaos-based, so, like, it would theoretically be pretty good, I think. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 is a little more than 12, and I promised to only do 12 ramp. So let's sort it out, shall we? We have 4 and 3, 2 and 2, 1 and 1, 1 and 4, 2 more and 3, and 3 more and 2. Well, I mean, it's an easy cut. Yeah, because Opaline Unicorn does everything Scuttlemutt does, but Scuttlemutt does it better, has better stats. Keep the Scuttlemutt, lose the Opaline. Easy. Alright, Opaline. Opaline? Opaline. Has to be. Alright, so we got 12 ramp. 2 more than we theoretically should have, but there we go. I feel like I should have like an infographic next time. Anyway, we'll Coke Zero for the reward. What's the craziest mechanic that you guys have ever designed around that were like, I don't think I should do this? For me, it was probably I screwed around with food while it was still bad. I used Geom off the top of my head, which was bad. I, I just kind of want to screw around with him though. I wanted to see what you could do. Uh, let's see. Okay, let's go to draw, shall we? So we have green, we have white, black. We're gonna have big creatures. We're gonna have creatures with a lot of counters, and we're gonna have a lot of artifact synergy. So I'm thinking probably artifacts that make you draw cards. I think that would be the best way to start the conversation. Artifact creatures, specifically. Because if nothing else, it would be like a good way to like keep the mechanic of the deck going, while also just getting out the big Unga Chunga guy. So let's see what we have in the way of big artifact creatures that help you draw. Ooh! Meteor Golem is good for destruction. So we'll keep that later for removal. Pa, 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 pa. Sandstone Oracle says, when enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. If that player has more cards in hand than you, draw cards equal to that difference. Considering that we're running in white, black, green, I think that there is a pretty good chance that somebody is going to have a bigger hand than us. So I feel like that's actually a pretty good choice to start. Definitely meld. Oh, interesting. You know, to be entirely honest, I have not screwed around with meld much. Oh, wait. I helped a friend build a Mishra deck with the little dragon that he melds with. Yeah. The thing is, I feel like that deck could have been a lot better. I feel like that person tends to like run things pretty haphazardly. But also it's a rough deck. You ever like put a really crazy deck into the hands of like a player and you're like, maybe you shouldn't have given like that deck to a more experienced player? Then again, it was their cards, so what was I gonna do? It was a beautiful card, and I was like, oh, you should run it. It'll be fun. Anyway. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Good times. Yeah, exactly. It's super fun, honestly. I love the flip card, too. Very good. Uh, I feel like Tawashi Guidebot would be really good. It's not exactly a huge artifact creature, but he said when he enters, he puts a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, and then for 4 and tap, he draws a card, and this ability costs 1 less to activate for each modified creature you control. Theoretically, could go really well. Theoretically. So I think that's worth a shot. If nothing else, I think it's worth the experimentation of it all. I'm seeing a bunch of cards that I'm like, ooh, put this aside for later, put this aside for later, but nothing that's really helping me draw. Oh, I did find something. I count it as draw, but maybe I'm just weird. I count Monarch as draw because it gives you a draw at the end of the turn if you can protect the Monarch that you're drawing, or if you get back, you're drawing. So, Staunch Throne Guard, sorry, when it enters it, you become the Monarch. That's not bad. That's draw in my book. Ooh, I would do Brass Herald if I could be a little more constant about creature type. And I just simply can't. Because artifact creature is not a creature type, ladies and gentlemen. Gades and Lentilman. Sorry, I will just jazz out to the music sometimes. Love it. Almost everything I build is weird, so it'd be hard to narrow it down. 5! Well, I felt bad when I made the tier 2 VV deck and went off crazy when I played you all. Oh, no. I felt like it was pretty fun. I mean, it was fun to see. Maybe it wasn't fun to play against, but I feel like at the end of the... Was VV the Cheerios? I feel like that was fine. Because, like, I feel personally that when a deck goes off and it just happens, yeah, that's fine. I mean, if it's just like, yeah, you're just going and you do the thing, like, sure, go off. My big one that irritates the hell out of me is like, yes, my deck is a machine and it'll slowly grind you out. Ugh. Ugh. Definitely been there, done that. Those are boring as hell, too. Because then it's like, oh, I guess I have to keep playing. But, like, you're gonna win. And then, like, if you like, pull, you're kind of like, well, you could, I mean, could be bad play because it's like, it's not finished yet, you know? It's always a bit of a thing. All right, so what about draw? Right, draw. I believe there is one. Where are we? In the future, I might try and design these decks out a little bit more ahead of time, just so I could be like, ah, yes, and I could just start slapping them together. And kind of like instead do like a bit of a demonstration vibe. But also, I couldn't be bothered. I'm busy. I've been doing a lot of stuff this weekend. This weekend was also harrowing. My life is harrowing lately. My life is very hard. Um. Oh, duh. Return of the Wild Speaker would be perfect. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. Perfect. And then, let's see here. Now we got some good draw on sorcery, and I'm not talking about Harmonize. I feel like it's easy to slap Harmonize into most any deck that has green in it, and I feel like that irritates me. I think that Harmonize is a very good card, but I think that like using it at everything almost diminishes how good of a card it is. Like it's neat that you have like a 4-cost spell that's just like, yeah, draw a thick amount of cards, baby. But at the same time, like, it's kind of like good because it's like, optimized, you know, for green specifically. Whereas like, if you're running other colors, you might be able to do something a bit better, or like a bit more niche around what specifically you're trying to do. I feel like a lot of people will like opt for like what is off the top of your head and like, oh yeah, it's green, let's do Harmonize. Irritates me. Blah blah blah. So in other news, ooh, Hunter's Prowess would be pretty good actually. Target creature gains +3/+3, gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. That's pretty good. I enjoy that. I feel like that's 5 already. Hmm. I'm thinking with my mind's brain. I'd like to see my phone. My phone is going to have information about what is in my collection. And as I think about it, Mayhap is a good artifact creature. It's not going to be a good artifact creature. That gets me to draw. Is there? No. Could be. We could go with the sacrifice route if we wanted to bring black into it, and then we could do something that values for like mana value or power or toughness. Could do that in green too, to be honest. What's the point then? No, no, no. No, 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 no. What we should do is this. First off, if we're putting Hunter's Prowess in here, we should put the other one in here, which I believe is Hunter's something or rather. I'm very smart. I'm a very smart nerd. Oh, do I have this one? Mayhap not. Interesting. Maybe I don't have that card. Huh. I don't think I do. Interesting. Today I learned. Oh wait, or is it Cull? Something Cull? Edward Cullen? You know, when I was in high school, I loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but I would constantly call Edward, the main character, Edward Cullen, which made so many of my classmates cringe. But looking back at it, I just think that makes it more funny. Oh, the other thing I was thinking about putting it in. There is a card that says something about. Oh! Hunter's Insight. It's an instant, actually. Today I learned. And where's the card that's like all your babies with counters on them would get you to draw, baby. And that's what's written on the card. Black Flag was really good. I really enjoy it. It's my favorite Assassin's Creed. Probably one of my favorite games, period. I still like kind of like hold it as a bit of a meter in my head. It's weird though, as I get older, I have a harder time playing games and liking them. So like also like I feel like a lot of different games I like different things in games than I did as a kid. Like as a kid I wanted like a really like cool, fun experience. I wanted to feel like immersed and everything. These days, I kind of want something that's like engaging in the short term, where it's like I go, I play it quickly, I leave, I can do something else. I don't always super understand the people that like have a lot of time for video games. That's such a bizarre thing for me to say, but like it's that I'm gonna go with Inspiring Call, and I'm actually gonna pick the Fallout art because I really like the people. I think they're fun. Um, I think it's because like as I get older, I don't have a lot of time to play video games, and I'm doing other stuff. Not that I don't like playing games, or it's like, oh, I don't have enough time for video games. Like I'm happy to make time. My thing is, I want to play Magic. I wanna hang with friends. I wanna like write. I want to draw. I want to like fix my bow tie. I want to do other things. So I think like at the end of the day, like sometimes I just don't have the most time for video games. Whereas like as a kid, I was like, yeah, my weekend will be from start to finish, sitting down and playing all of a Assassin's Creed and getting it to the end. Also, don't feel like I was as good at video games though before I started doing that. So make of that what you will. My famous anecdote is to show what kind of kid I was playing video games. As a kid, I would. You guys remember that part in Pokemon Ruby where you are waiting, like, uh, Team Magma, Team Aqua, whichever, is like waiting out the front of like the museum. And the vibe is you're supposed to like go past them or something to the front, or you're supposed to like do something else and then come back, and then they're all inside the museum instead of like a line out the front. And then like at which point you're like, oh, okay, I can go into the museum. But if you ask the guys in the line, like, oh yeah, well, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, you're supposed to wait in line. You're supposed to like wait your turn or whatever. And me being this kid as like when I was younger would actually like set my little character at the end of the line and then save the game and kind of like wait and then like turn off the game, check back in later. And it actually took me like a quite humiliating amount of time before I realized, oh, I don't think that's how that's supposed to work actually. Oh boy. All right. So that's why, like, all these years later, I'm like, oh, there's like actually something a bit exciting to like, I could play video games now, and I intrinsically understand what's going on to some level. I have like problem solving skills. It's amazing. Oh, I think as a kid, I just like didn't solve enough for myself. Maybe? Is that the lesson I want to take from this? I don't think so, actually. It's a pretty bummer lesson. I think mine was Revelations. Revelations I played as an adult and had a lot of fun with. I felt like the bomb mechanics left some to be required. It was a little tricky to work out, but I did do some of it pretty well, I feel like. Like some of the stuff were like, oh, you can like throw it and then it'll like bounce and you could do like a smoke screen. And like sometimes I would try and like toy around with that. But a lot of times whenever I did not work out. You would usually just like kind of end up recreating the sort of like utilities that the previous game already had. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm kind of bad at Assassin's Creed, to be honest. Because I did notice that like as the games go on, I grow increasingly bad at the games. Like put me in like Assassin's Creed 2 or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm so good at these games. Put me in like Revelations. Oh, God forbid. Put me in Assassin's Creed 3. I don't understand what controller is. Where am I? What am I doing? Is this a television set? Am I playing a video game? What's going on? An assassin? A Creed? Why does he have blades coming out of his wrist? What's going on? Where am I? Where is my mom? I want help. Whereas, like, if you set me up, I'm gonna play music because I am realizing that I'm lapsing into stand up to fill the air. Fun things that I do, apparently. Um, a lot of my video gaming is also socialization, so it serves a dual purpose. Me. So also a lot of the times when I do something, right now I'm building a magic deck. I'm talking with with you. I'm enjoying our time hanging out. I'm getting to chat with people. This is fun for me. I'm noticing that I'm not being super effective at making magic cards, so look out for that. But like I think that this is a lot more fun. There's like more going on. I like to do multiple things at once if I can manage. Um, but yeah, I get that huge style. I feel like there was maybe some Phyrexians I could toy with that. Oh ho ho! Oh, I found one. So it's the Phyrexian Gargantua. When it enters, you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. So horror. Is it a Phyrexian? Oh, so the new model has it as a Phyrexian. So it is indeed a Phyrexian. I just don't want this like. Okay, let's. I'm gonna be a bit catty. There is something I feel that is lost in some of the new Phyrexian art, and this is what I'm talking about. In this Phyrexian art, look at this guy. He's a little squibbly squabbler. He's here to like gank your spankies. He's just a little guy. You would find this man in a Furby community of Tumblr.com. You know what I'm saying? Like, put a Furby on this guy's head. Perfect. I understand everything about him. This man is the Grudge. This man is from your nightmares. This man is trying to get on the latest VHS movie. It's creepy. It's scary. I like my little scrungler. I'm not gonna lie. I see the creepy scaries. I understand the desire. I want my scrungly little guy. Um, I still play a lot. A big, my big things is narratives, but at the same time, I'm huge into gameplay, especially with how many fighting games I play. Yeah, I get that. I really do. My big game that I've been playing lately that I get to cheat with in this conversation is Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds. I really love that game a lot. It's very fun. Um, I enjoy it because there is a decent story. It doesn't It's very good, in my opinion, because I like that it doesn't. It's sort of like gestures towards like. It kind of like is like a. I'm gonna be a huge ass and say that it reminds me of a lot of like more already succeeding at the ass part. He it's like a very like it almost like scans to me like a like classical literature. in some ways because it's very like there's a lot being said, but ultimately it's not a lot of it's not very like effective to like the scene, or it's like trying to like progress a narrative or something like that. Whereas like it leaves a lot to the imagination. I feel like actually Steinbeck might be a pretty good like author to like vaguely reference here, where it's like very like there's a lot going on, but it requires on you to like read between the lines for most everything. And I feel like that's actually pretty good because like while you're reading between the lines, you get to like do co-op stuff with your friends, and that's fun and exciting. Um oh, but also I've seen certain cuties do streams of like Dragon Age recently and that sort of thing. And I am so envious of people's ability to like actually recently watched this guy's. I've been watching a lot of like video game like long reviews, and the thing is, I really enjoy these reviews. I disagree with most of them. I just because like okay, for instance, this guy was like, "Oh, I really like when like people do these really narrative heavy things where they have like a whole trees where they just give you like all this dialogue about like a thing, and then you could get all the lore through all this like dialogue trees and everything." And listen, I have played Dragon Age Inquisition so many times that I could probably recite some parts of it. Um, and the thing is, I love those games. When you play them as much as I have, and been through those dialogue trees, I don't want to do dialogue trees anymore. I am so tired. I don't want to do that. You know what? I'm actually happier with the codex 9 times out of 10 because then I could like look in the codex, read something in the side, and be like, fascinating. I get to know about this now. And if you like allude to that in like the game somewhat, cool. That's fine by me. I don't want the game to be all about like, oh, here is like all of this space for this, but that's just me personally. So when I see like certain cuties play like Dragon Age games, it's like, here, let's just go through all this dialogue. It makes me happy because it's sort of like they get to enjoy this because I have difficulty with it, honestly. Um, but you know, that's where that balance with gameplay comes in, honestly. Honestly, I don't. There's a lot in the older Dragon Age games that the gameplay does not grab me enough for as much as like like it asks of me personally. Um, which is such a shame because I really, really, really like their newer iterations. I classic story for me personally. I got on the wrong I got in at the wrong Dragon Age. I got in at Dragon Age 2, if you'd believe it. Um, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is the worst one. This is terrible. We hate this." I was enamored from this game, from the word go. You know what? I'm putting in a Reckoner's Bargain. Reason is that you can cast on either a creature or an artifact, you can gain life about it, and you could draw 2 cards. I feel like that's pretty good. There's another one that gets you a treasure. I just remembered. Is that a sorcery or an instant? Let's find out together. Sort of similar situation I had where I didn't know how to get past the DS Maps puzzle in Phantom Hourglass. Came back to it after I closed it for the night. Well, oh, big, huge mood, actually. Oh, Costly Plunder is also not bad, though it does pretty much the same thing. Deadly Dispute, and I am probably... Oh, wait. Is there... Hold on. I think I remember there being a bunch of listicles upset about there being, like, a 1-cost instant that sacrifices and does the same thing. Village Rites is the basic version of that. You can sacrifice a creature, but not an artifact with Village Rites. I think there is a card, though, at this point, that lets you sacrifice an artifact or a creature for 1 mana. It might not be an instant. That might be the trade-off to that. That'd be nice. I don't hate that, then. I love whenever they do a card that's like, makes all of the Magic the Gathering YouTubers like point at it and go like, like they're not wrong, but it is always funny to see because it's like, ooh, new problem dropped. I'm here for it. I like when there's a problem card. I don't know, I run Commander. I'm a little like removed from the drama of it all 9 times out of 10. I think it might be a sorcery. Or I might be hallucinating this card. Or I don't have it. The options, the choices. Let's see here. So, I'd like to be a little honest. I'd like to be vulnerable for Pride. Um, Something that I'm trying to learn to do is sometimes when I do streams or whatever, it gets a little quiet and people stop like commenting, which is fine and normal because most of the time when people say like, "Oh, no, I'm like you're just listenable." And I think that's actually like a huge compliment. I want to be the sort of person that like you could just kind of like zone out to and listen to the background. So, one thing that I'm kind of working on is to like increase my banter when nothing else is going on. So this is good practice for that, honestly. Poorly Himplo. I don't know what card I was looking for, so that's a damn shame. But that's probably for the best anyway, because we've done colorless, we've done green, and we've done black. So we should probably get like some white draw in here if we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We already have 11 draw. Okay, so easy. We'll take out Costly Plunder because both Reckoner's Bargain and Deadly Dispute do it better. Do we want to remove any of the green draw? No, but should we? I'm inclined to remove Hunter's Prowess. And the reason is that unlike Hunter's Insight, which says choose target you control whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw that many cards. Hunter's Prowess assigns that text to a card. And if we're doing strictly vanilla cards, it's probably better to have a card that does the effect versus giving that text to a creature. So, white draw, huh? Why would you do this to me? I'm thinking with my mind brain. Actually, do I want to do that at all? Is there a card in white that would be good in this deck that helps me draw? I don't think there is. I don't think white enjoys artifacts in that specific way. That feels very blue. That'd feel very blue-white. But I don't think that's just white. Yeah. So, in which case, let's go ahead. Let's put Costly Plunder back in, I think. Because I don't think I'm going to be dire for drawing unless something's going poorly, to be entirely honest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Great. So we have 12 ramp, we have 10 draw. Now we need 5 removal and we need 5 board wipes. So to start us with removal, we have Meteor Golem. Great. I do have another one off the top of my head. Another black and another artifact, actually. And black is always really good about, like, kill on a stick, to be honest. Where are you, you artifact creature? I'll find you. Don't you hate it when you can't find your noxious Gearhulk? Boom. Enters the battlefield, you may destroy target creature. If the creature is destroyed that way, gain life equal to his toughness. Great. Earnestly, I scare that as artifact. Is there anything else in the late game that might be helpful to, or in the late cost, that might be helpful to us? Phyrexians, artifacts, nothing. Guess not. Yeah. Unfortunate. All good, though. It's a bit of a long shot. 5 board wipes. Egads, I understand why, but I can't imagine doing that myself. It's just the recommended, honestly. They say that it's supposed to be 10 ramp, 10 draw, 5 removal, 5 board wipe. That's the general rule. Honestly, I find it helpful. I usually find my board wipes when I need them. I find my removal when I need it. I don't know. White. That's what I was going to look for next, because white usually has some pretty good, like, exile on a stick sort of vibes. So let's check the late creatures for those and see if we can't find anything. Might find an artifact. Ooh! What I was just saying. When Angel of Ruins enters the battlefield, exile up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. And it's an artifact creature. Perfect! Just what I wanted out of the deal. So often Magic is just like knowing where in the box to look. And usually it will do a lot of the work for you, which is very nice. Now I'm just looking a little further in the box to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Are you someone who jams games at an LGS more, or more of a pretty regular pod with friends? Used to be the former, now I'm more doing the latter. Well, okay, it kind of was like ladder, former, ladder. So I started with doing like a lot of pod stuff, and then like I kind of worked into an LGS, but like I was at an LGS for long enough that like I just started feeling bad, honestly. I felt like the groups there started getting kind of salty, and I don't know what happened. It's always a little bit bothersome to me because it's like if you don't know what the problem is. Whereas, but I have a really hard time like pinning that to myself, to be honest. I wouldn't know what I did, so I'm assuming that it just kind of happened over time. It's kind of an atmosphere thing. So then I just kind of went back to doing pods. Though to be honest, I'm kind of like coming back from like a Love Angel of Ruins, Arthur Marigold Knight. Ah, yeah, Angel of Ruins is very fun. It's good as an angel. It's good as an artifact creature. It's good for exile triggers. It's good for ETBs. It's good for like cycling, discarding. So much. It's really good. It's really good. Let's see. What else could we get here? Sky's the limit, to be honest. What about... Hmm. Are there any cards... You know what we should be doing? Actually, the thought occurs, I should be typing Incubate into Gatherer here. See if there's any card... Ooh! Gatherer did not like that question. It says I want to incubate nothing. Thank you. Thank you, but no thank you. Alright, Gatherer. Let's get it together. Come on. What do you mean? There's no... Oh, you're searching card name. This is not what I want. Card name Incubate. Incubate. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Alright, let's search in the rules text Incubate. And then let's make it white, black, or green. And go from there. I think my cat is trying to get in. Or I'm having a home intruder scenario. I'm not having a home intruder scenario. Let there not be fear. I think I have this. I have that. That's the thing about Incubate. I will say, part of why I'm very excited to do this deck, a lot of these cards. I think I have Merciless Repurposing. Exile target creature, incubate 3 for an instant, 6 whole mana for that one. I'd sooner cut off my own left arm. Yeah. No, I'm not really seeing anything that's good removal with Incubate, honestly. So, might as well just not. Don't worry about it. Well, I guess that opens us to whatever we want to do with this. So, let's think. We have black, green, white, black, and white, green. None of these are wanton for the ability to remove things. Truly. I think we're going to get into our multicolor box. These are our blues. So this big box has to be the multicolor. Oh boy. Oh yeah. It was lands. And tokens. 'Twas not what I wanted. Sort your collection, kids. I'm a cautionary tale. Alright. I think it's actually this guy. Is it the open box? Of course it's the open box. Okay. Let's start with black-green. I'm feeling good about it. Golgari. Let's find out what they have for us, huh? Maybe Golgari Charm? Destroy target enchantment. Very situational removal. Regenerate each creature you control. Fun protection. Specific cost. Also, again, we're focusing on removal, so let's just move on. Maybe I'll just find a pretty card I want to put in there, honestly. Putrefy is fun. Atomize. Death Sprout. Ooh! Do I want to do Death Sprout? Target creature. Yeah. I want to do Death Sprout. Reason is destroying target creature, but also giving you the ability to put a land card into the battlefield tapped on a destroy the creature. Feels good. Also instant. So yeah, I'm okay with that actually. Gosh, actually, I wouldn't hate that as a general vibe. Is there more of that? Because this will be wanting for a lot of mana. Is there another like this, man? Hello? No. Seems not. Oh, I tried. Yeah, not really the vibe. Okay. What about black white? Yeah, probably, huh? What is your guys' favorite color combos? I personally really like black green, but also blue green. So I guess put me down for like blue black green, honestly. I'm very decisive. I feel like it's just kind of like because I really enjoyed the vibe. Ooh. You know what? It's a bit stupid, but I like it. Buried in the Garden. Similar vibe, but also just kind of funny. Um, there might be a better version of this, but I like it. It says when you enchant a land. When it enters, you can exile target non-land permanent you don't control until Buried in the Garden leaves the battlefield. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. So, good ramp and also good removal. Dimir and Jeskai over here. Ooh! I do love... Oh, God. My first decks were always Dimir growing up. I loved Mill as a kid. Alright, so we have our 5 removal. Now we just need 5 board wipe. Okay. So let's think on... what do we want our board wipes to look like? We should be worried about artifacts, tokens, big guys, theoretically, hopefully. We should look into white. We should look into our multicolored, actually. Let's look to multicolored first, and then we'll go from there. Very Christmassy. I'm not sure I'm into this. I did very much let it roll the first time, though, so I guess we're doing it. Oh, that's probably why I let it roll, because, like, the Jingle Bells really go fast. You know, it's kind of like... I'm currently baking through, if you guys know Dylan Hollis, I'm currently baking through his baking cookbook, his Ridge, and there's a lot of recipes that, like, feature really old ingredients. Like, what was... mace? No. Was it? Anyway, there's, like, a lot of, like, flavors that you try, and it's like, this tastes bizarrely like Christmas. And it's like, why? 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 And the answer kind of is just, I don't know, it's one of the few, like, flavors that we still use with these, like, really old ingredients. It's like, oh, odd. Kind of like, oh, ginger. I don't really fuck around with ginger anymore, but, like, surround. Language. Where is this box? White. Boop. All right. Let's get concerned about sorceries. Demir and Jeskai. I always have difficulty with Jeskai though. I will say this. My difficulty is always like I try and make it a situation where it's like, oh, gotta include Hour of Reckoning really quick. Oh gosh. Which art to go with though? I like the hovering art. I like the Ascension and Rays of Destruction. It's always so funny to me. So it's like, ah! I look at that art and I hear like the portal like getting like evaporated in the portal like laser area thing. Please tell me you guys know what I'm talking about. Celestial Judgment also wouldn't be horribly bad in this. I feel like there's like one other one that's like, don't destroy your good boys. But I might not have it. Maybe not. Destroy all creatures, destroy all artifacts, destroy all creatures with power greater than the creature's power. No, I think that's about where we want things to be. Then let's go to Damn. Maybe Damn 2 if you're in Orzhov already. Oh! I don't know if I have. Do I have a spare Dam? I don't think I do. You know what I'll probably do? I think I want to do. Uh. Hmm. Hmm. I'm thinking with my mind brain. Sorry. I'm gonna say. Okay. I think I'm going to go. All right. These destroy. These destroy. Let's lean just a scoosh longer into white, just to get our bases covered. And let's snap Cleansing Nova into the mix, just because I really like that versatility. Also, like, if I have a bunch of artifacts and I'm wiping creatures, that's pretty fun. Again, we have options for art, and again, I think I'm going to go with the old style. And then, I think I'm going to go with... Let's get out of white. Let's get out of here. Otherwise, like, if I'm trying to board wipe and I'm doing white, I have no other choices. Let's see what I have in black, actually. What do you have for black board wipes? Let's find out together. Together forever. Dun 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 dun. We'll love you. I have Living Death. I don't think that's going to be super helpful with like a token heavy deck though. I mean, as I think about it, there's probably like a couple of circumstances where Living Death would work well with this, but I think it would be a bit rare. Destroy all creatures. Each player loses life equal to the number of creatures they controlled that were destroyed this way. Tempting. Tempting. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to do Feast of Succession. Here's why. If we have a bunch of big creatures and we're minusing four until end of turn, we're dropping all of their creatures, possibly preserving ours, or like again, if they're artifacts, they should be fine. Also, we get to become Monarch. I feel like that's a pretty good trade-off, actually. That's one of the better scenarios. Um, and to be cheeky, I think I'll go Decree of Pain. Because if we're getting the mana that we need, this cost shouldn't be too much. I mean, it will regardless, but if it's the card we draw, it's the card we draw. But also, we could just do cycling and -2/-2 to a bunch of things, and it should also be fine. I'm willing to take the risk on the biscuit, and I'll get our board wipe out of the way. More importantly, all right, we finally finished off all that. So now we're actually into the thick of like what the deck will be. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Split it up actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we carve out 40 from that for land base, then that means that we're at 74. So we have 26. Yes, 26 to toy around with. Not bad. Okay. So, 26 to toy around with. And the main things that we got looking at are Ruxa and Bramaz. So we're looking at vanilla creatures, we're looking at artifact creatures, we're looking at Phyrexians. Let's see here. I think the most fun that we could do, as basic as this is earnestly take a little peeky at what we can find in the way of like vanilla artifact creatures. Like if they're cost effective, if they're big enough, if they're fun enough. See, let's just find out. I'd love to see some creatures that just have flavor text on them. Let's go. Ironically, I think a lot of Phyrexians. Not sure ones I'd want to cast, but definitely a lot of Phyrexians. I think Threefold Thunderhulk would be pretty good, actually. When it enters the battlefield, with 3 counters on it, whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, create a number of +1/+, or 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens equal to his power, and then you could sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on the Thunderhulk. That works pretty well with a number of the mechanics in play here. I think that works great. I think Maelstrom Colossus would be a fun one. He's not vanilla per se, but he is a 7/7 for 8. He's an artifact creature, and he cascades. That's pretty good. I kind of want to put him in. Hmm. Uh, let's go ahead and toss in some vanillas, though. So let's do Razorfield Thresher. I feel like we can't see it very well. Eh. There we go. Yeah. Also, going way back to your second monitor content, I'm playing a game while watching you on the side, so I don't chat all the time. Yeah, exactly. See, this is actually a perfect uh, this ties in a lot of conversations that we were having, where it's like, yeah, I want to be like the second guy, but also like that's part of why I'm like, yeah, video games are hard nowadays because it's like you have to give all of your attention to them, baby, and then it's like, ugh. Versus like this, where it's like, yeah, no, I could just be the other guy. I could be the other guy while you like play fighting games. If we were playing like Dragon Age, trickier. Talk about me and the Blight. Talk about me and the dragons. Fus Ro Dah? Put some Fus in your Ro Dah? More likely than you think. Hmm. I kind of want to put in Phyrexian Hulk. I think it'd be funny. And I think Hexplate Golem would be pretty cool. And Mirror Enforcer, just for the affinity to artifacts. I'm getting a little slapdash with my artifact creatures. I'm sorry, but I'm having fun. So I'm not that sorry. Do you have any final? Do you have a final showdown? The spree really makes it nice synergy with Rock Support, Wipe, and Protection all in one. Final showdown? No, actually, I don't. Sorry about that. That's a good suggestion, though. I do agree. I invite you actually to make your. This sounds like I'm brushing it off in the worst way, and I really apologize. I wish I had that card. Truly, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'll proxy it. Actually, I have 4 days to do it. But that said, yeah, I mean, no one says you can't make this deck. Also, if you wanted to get like wild and frisky about it, you know. I just don't want that to sound like a brush off because I do. It's more like I like that idea so much that I'm like, yeah, actually, you should do that. Okay, okay. And here's some other ones that I did find. Ooh, I had some Trump hand going on there. Very small. Anyway, I also found Geode Golem, which I think would be great for this deck. Uh, Trample, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, I could put a commander from the command zone, or I could cast a commander from the command zone without mana cost, which would be good. Walking Skyscraper, one less for each modified creature I control. Has hexproof as long as it's untapped. It's an 8/8. It's an artifact. It's great. And Foundry Inspector, which we already know about. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means 17 more to go. Dirty barnacles. Okay. Here's what we should do in the meanwhile. Voot. We're gonna set these behind here. Sorry about it. They're going away on their honeymoon. Just gotta get a good idea of what the mana layout is looking like. Okay, so we're definitely going with some high cards, but that's fair. We figured for that. So why don't we cost reducers? Vanilla. We could do our hacked. Our attacks. I guess at this point it's just kind of like a little bit of like searching through and seeing what we find, to be entirely honest. But that's kind of the fun of it. That's what the chat's about, huh? Not brushing at all. Like engaging with deck building. Oh yeah, totally. I'm glad to hear it, actually. You'd hate for a stream to be boring. Well, it can't be like entirely grabbing though. The moment I start screaming, that something's gone wrong. Can you imagine? Oh my god. I mean, I can, is the unfortunate part. But not my goal. Alright. Rust Goliath is interesting. Reach, trample, he's a 10/10 for 10. That's pretty interesting. He has prototype for 5. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't. He has trample and reach though. So it's a bit of a turnoff for me. Because it doesn't really cooperate with what we're trying to do here. It's a 10. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. We're going to just keep it out, just in case. We can put it back later, if we need to. No stress. This is part of the, like, why I want to pair these two commanders together, because part of it is that each of them have a weakness called there's not a lot of what either of them want. And if you combine both of them together, there's more of what each of them wants. There's a fair amount of concentric circle in there, versus if you want all vanilla Creator and all like big artifact Creator, not a lot of reason to do just like one or the other, to be earnest. What if I just like went fully silent and then just like let the music play? Just like start like doing interpretive dances on the side? I'm not going to do that, but I think it would be funny. Boulder Branch Golem, 7 for 6/5. It also has prototype, but when it enters, you gain life equal to its power. God, that's just worse. That's so bad. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. Let's see here. Troll King. No. We need artifacts. We'd love some artifacts. You'll love some artifacts. I don't know about you guys. I always think of, not Fifth Element, Stargate. I always think of Stargate when I think of artifacts. Someone was like, oh yeah, like, like a pyramid that opens up with like portals. Yeah, an artifact. Points at screen. Artifact. I feel like kind of my brain's a little broken about it. I do love that movie though. I I need to get into the TV show sometime. I really should. I should just bite the bullet. It's just so rough. I remember like the first time I tried watching it, it just it 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 opens on the most set hashtag this is a set, you know? And it's like it's all gonna be like this, isn't it? Or at least a grand swath of it. I I'm not one to complain though, because like on Tumblr.com, one of the hashtags I'm following is Farscape, and looking back at that show, it really is a space opera insofar as soap opera with space stuff. And I can't believe that like as a kid I didn't clock this, you know? Like I earnestly thought I was like, oh, this is a cool sci-fi space show. And it's like, yeah, but like it's drama. It's mostly about the drama, really, truly. I don't think it's not about that. Hmm, let's see here. I'm looking for one specific card. It's gonna drive me insane. I know there's like a card that when it enters, it's like this giant Hulk or whatever. It's an artifact creature, and when it enters, it gives anything like 4 counters instantly. I just think that's fun. I think that's interesting, but I can't find it anywhere. So apparently, I don't know if it's going in the deck. At this point, I'm already the way down to like 5 mana cost. Let your spirit be free with Poké. Exactly. Improvised artifact creatures would also go hard too, I feel. Ooh, improvise. Not a bad idea, actually, honestly. I might screw around with that. Wow, we've gone through the Poké list twice. I need to cultivate more Poké. Oh, maybe this is also a sign that I should be wrapping up here. Hmm. I feel like we should finish this deck. Don't you guys? Don't we all want to finish this deck? Yeah, we gotta finish this deck. We at least gotta pick the rest of this 29, huh? Or 26, my bad. I feel like that is required. From the top. Alright. I feel like we should get into... Let's look into the multicoloreds. Let's see if we can't get any mileage out of that. And at which point, then I'm probably going to switch over to white, because I think white has a good, like, chance of having, like, artifacts that I want. Artifact creatures. Is this white? Yes. Or, sorry, this is multicolored. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's try and find some artifact creatures about it. In white-green, famously the artifact uh, colors. It's gonna go great. These guys love artifacts. No, the perpetual space of deck building lost in the sauce. Yes. 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 No, I just need to finish these 26 cards. Don't worry. I'm not even going to get together a land base today. I'm very aware of how my ADHD kicks, and she's not going to buck me today. Did that enough this weekend. Thank you very much. Not going to be doing that again. Hard pass. I used to. working 12-hour shifts is so funny for your brain though, because like working 12-hour shifts, being off for like 4 to 3 days at a like go is crazy, because then you end up like, oh yeah, no, I have the time, and you get so used to like macro chunks of time where it's like, yeah, no, I could just screw around. Oh, coming back to like a regular shift job is so crazy, and it's not even been like a short amount of time from yonder to yonder, but like I've learned such like a oh no, I got the time attitude that like it's really quite difficult to revert. Verdant Gearhulk is definitely the card I was looking for. I don't know why I couldn't find it, so I've given up. Um, at this point, I'm looking elsewhere. I appreciate it though. You're absolutely right. It's Verdant Gearhulk. Verdant Gearhulk. What if I started doing? No, I can't do that. I was like, oh, I could do like funny little giveaways where I'm like, can you guess this card? But also, I'm pretty sure that's like bad. Also, like, I don't know. I don't even have like good cards to give out is half the problem. I don't think I would that would be like good for anyone. Well, I guess what these guys sometimes screw around with. Golgari is known to have artifacts. What am I doing? Yeah, it went about as I thought it would. Okay, moving on. Um, white, probably white. Let's see what they have in here. Ooh, they have some expensive enchantment creatures, which is interesting. Not really the vibe, though. Not what I'm wanting here. I do love how, like, a lot of, like, the higher cost white creatures that I see usually have, like, some sort of go... They try to go about some sort of go-white tragedy, or strategy. Tragedy, it really is the word for it. um, hmm. Combat Thresher. It's 7 for a 3/3 with double strike. Hmm. I don't think I could justify that. I think I could go in for a Darksteel Splicer. Whenever it or another non-token Phyrexian enters the battlefield under your control, create an X 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem to artifact creature token, where X is the number of opponents you have, and then golems you control have indestructible. That's not bad at all. Yeah, I'll slap that in there. We've really hit the slap that in there stage, I suppose. Not the worst stage to be in, though. Sometimes that's where you have the most fun. Really like, oh, maybe this is what pulls the deck together, and then you just, like, find the card. Always happens to me, at least. I always like when I get around to the, like, the screw around stage, because then you can really, like, do funny things. You know the other thing I was thinking of? Actually, let's get a bit further into white, and then we can, like, switch circuits on that one. But something I was thinking of is, like, cards that give, like, bonuses to artifact creatures would be pretty good, honestly. It would just be a matter of knowing what's in my collection, which is a bit trickier because I haven't gotten that far in sorting yet. I should be able to do it though on site, honestly. I'm seeing a couple of artifact creatures here, but nothing really wowing me. Mostly it's kind of like angels. Not really good ones. I remain to be dazzled by angels, honestly. The latest McLaughlin song. Isn't that her name? McLaughlin? McLaughlin? Reginald? Let's see here. No. Nothing really looking good. Oh! So, Cataclysmic Gearhulk says, when it enters the battlefield, each player chooses artifact, creature, and enchantment, and a planeswalker from among them, and then sacrifices the rest. That's pretty rough. That's not even gonna really like have a lot of fun with the ETB of it all. No, couldn't be bothered. I'd hate to like play a card and then immediately have it obliterate the fun effect that it does. That's not fun. Essence of Antiquity. Artifact creature Golem. Creatures you control gain a hexproof when this card is turned face up. Untap them. It's a 1/10. Oh, I'm not. I don't. Essence of Orthodoxy. Whenever Essence of Orthodoxy or another Phyrexian enters the battlefield under your control, incubate 2. I don't think I have enough Phyrexian support, honestly. I was thinking about it, but I think mostly I've gone into artifacts at this point. I mean, I have Phyrexians in there, don't get me wrong, but... Iron Soul Enforcer says, whenever attacks, return target artifact card from the graveyard to the battlefield. You know what? I'm down for him. I'd take that, honestly. Best one I've seen thus far. Oh, attacks alone, though. I'm Boo Boo the Fool. I'm gonna put this aside then. Okay. Then let's go ahead and go back into. Let's do this. Let's do a good old Gatherer search, eh? Artifact creatures. Let's see. What do we have for this? No. Might have a Chief of the Foundry. Let's take a peek. Let's see. That'd be a nice little surprise, huh? Let's see here. Ooh, Steel Oversteer is actually looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and put that in for certain. For certain. Oh my goodness. I'm so embarrassed. Hmm. What about... Ah! Chi of the Foundry. Perfect. Then... Let's see here. What else could we be doing? Anything with... Huh? Uh-huh. Hmm. Other stuff with, like, artifact synergy would be really good, honestly. I think that was a really smart observation. Uh... Hmm. Artifacts put into the graveyard. Ideally, we don't want to see that. Equal to the number of artifacts or enchantments you control. That would be really funny. I don't think it would really behoove him to have a lot of extra power, though. No, no, no. We ideally want to be buffing the vanilla min. Otherwise, it doesn't make too much sense. Hmm. I feel like Arcbound Crusher might be pretty good. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Arcbound Crusher and has modular 1. So, thusly, like, whatever it dies, you could put all its counters on another creature. That'd work pretty good, honestly. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with that. And... You know, in the spirit of affinity for artifacts, let's toss in Frogmite. I think that would be really funny. It's just like an easy 4 right there. Boom. And I think that's pretty much it for that. All right, so what do we got for the numbers? Let's take a quick peek, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What if we just really go in on artifacts in a way to sort of regulate out our deck a little bit? So, here's my new pet theory. We put in stuff that can help us get more land, get stuff out easier, and also kind of help us get stuff off the top of the deck as well. So, if we go with that, we can get a lot more bang for our buck, to be entirely honest. Let's see here. Like, for instance, we could play... Oh, where are you, old Dickens? You ever know, like, a card, and you're like, ah, where are you? Let's see here. Prophet of the Peak. Perfect example. 6, and it's a 5/5, and it lets you scry 2. Perfect. Exactly what I'm wanting. And then there's another one that was even a bit better, I believe. Hmm. Hmm. Ah! Scampering Surveyor would be really fun. It lets you search your library for a basic land card or cave card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. For the same reason, Solemn Simulacrum would be perfect. Then let's see. I had a bunch of good ones just here earlier. I think 4 is about the sweet spot, to be earnest. For like artifacts that kind of do a little bit. It's kind of very funny. There was one that I saw, I believe it was like Scry 2, and then let you draw on occasion. It's very specific. Well, to be honest, I'm hesitant to get all the way down to 3 on that one. Honestly, this might take some more digging. We are coming up on 10 o'clock tonight. Might be a good time for good nerds to get bed, huh? So, I will say, thank you guys so much for hanging with me. It was really fun, actually. I promise no such thing as this will have more order and less chaos in the future, but I will say, this was very fun. I enjoyed building this deck with you. I think in the future I might try and build up the deck a little bit more, like, virtually before setting out to build it in front of you guys, but we'll see, honestly. I feel like the chaos and drama was the funnest part of it, in some ways. Yeah, you guys take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Hope you had fun getting stuff done, and kind of like hearing me like talk to you guys on the screen somewhere else, wherever. Um, put your deck ideas in like the comments. Yeah, I think you could do that in the comments, probably. So you guys take care.